How do you learn who you really are? It's not found in books. It's found on the battlefield. Yeah, I'm looking through some of your stuff and checking out some of the stuff that you do. I was a little confused because I see like Zenya Montiel, and then I got like, Amanda, like
Amanda
Abella.
Bay, well, I work under Amanda Bay. Amanda Bay is my boss, so she has
Okay.
a trading company. So, and then we work with women coaches, consultants, and service providers and teach them their marketing and sales.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot going on. The marketing and sales part is the trickiest part about it. So many people want to do their coaching, but don't know how to get people to them.
Yeah. Or they
Yeah,
know how to do one thing, but they don't know. So we have both of them.
it's tough. I do the same thing where I kind of use what I do as a means to get my coaches people to be able to work with them because they're like, who's this guy? Who's that girl? And I'm like, listen, I can't handle these ones. I got too many. I'll send them your way. So very cool. Well, how can I serve or be of service, or can we hear your story, or what is it that you would like to do? What can we do?
No, it's my first time recording a podcast, like outside of like work, like outside of like the Amanda Bay umbrella. So that's why I'm a little like nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, is this gonna like flow? I want it to like flow, and I don't want to sound like too robotic. But I'm a little in my head right now. Not even gonna lie, I'm a little in my head, but it's okay. I mean, it's not the first time that I've spoken about this. So basically, my story is I was the side chick, right? And then as I was learning, I had to step up into work and I had to learn how to do sales. So learning how to sell myself actually made me like pick better men down the line. So that's kind of like the whole story like summed up. Yeah.
All right, so let me get this right. Your dating life, you are usually taken advantage of. You were the girl who would be like the side chick, and just I mean, like, listen, look, I know it may be deceiving, but for us who are like 40 years old, it's like, all right, so that means like this dude's pretty much cheating on his girl with you. And somehow you stuck around for this. You're like, yeah, this guy's absolutely cheating, which means he's 100% a cheater because he's cheating with me.
Yeah. But then that was from a place where I wasn't too happy with myself. So it was kind of like lack of self-esteem made me stay in that position. So, and then at the same time, I had to transition my role from my customer service to step into sales related activities in my workplace. So learning how to sell made me attract better men, I guess. Yeah, it's
All right.
proven.
All right. So you heard it first from Coach Z. If you're struggling in your relationship, get a sales job. You'll be dating better guys in no time.
There it is. Yeah.
We did it. We solved the problem. Ladies, for this episode, I hope you guys have a great one. I'm just kidding. All right. So, yeah, fill us in on the story here. Is this when you started working with Amanda, or is this when you started like doing your own thing? Like, what was the transition or the aha moments? Like, I can't wait to hear, like, listen, I wasn't respecting myself, thus dating guys who don't respect me. Seems pretty obvious. We're in Psych 101. We're not even getting in the tricky stuff yet. Don't respect yourself, people won't respect you. Got it. So
There you go.
now you're like, now I got something where I have to learn a new craft. I have to learn a new skill, and I have to learn the confidence that it takes to be able to move product no matter what it is. Tell me about your evolution in that part. That's the part where people are like, okay, so what did she do? Like,
Right. So for context, I've been with Amanda for 5 years already, right? And I started off like, doing behind the scenes. I was customer service. I didn't have to be involved like with a client or anything, like respond to them like via email. And then at the same time, I was solo like on the chunkier side. And then I was in this relationship that I thought was just like me and him, right? But then there was things along the relationship that made me like pick up on like signals. I'm like, something feels like it's not working out. Like the math is not mathing for me. There were certain like scenarios. And then at the same time, Amanda was like, all right, everyone is in charge of bringing in money into the company. And then so it was lack of self-esteem and a whole bunch of my money stories came up and I had to transition from customer service from being behind the scenes this whole time to being more client facing and being more visible. So all of my money stories had flooded. And then at the same time, I was like transitioning from like, I started working out, I started burning myself and investing more in myself, on and so forth. So I had to really listen. I've had to put in so many hours of self training that's ridiculous. I've had to learn. I didn't know sales, so I had to learn from scratch. I went from 0 to 100 in like the span of a year.
So let me ask you what your motivation was here. Because, like, if you're behind the scenes, was being behind the scenes almost the excuse to not need to take care of yourself?
I was comfortable in that area.
Yeah, and so, like, comfort made it so I don't have to. But can we be real for a second? Anybody who's not taking care of themselves is using comfort as the excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Because, real talk, when you looked in the mirror, how comfortable did you feel?
Not at all.
Right. So we're using this label of comfort for I just don't want to do it.
It was my security blanket.
Yeah, it makes it so I feel safe and secure because, quite frankly, it's not that I'm comfortable because I'm highly uncomfortable, but I don't want to do it. So I'm going to call it safe and secure so I don't do anything.
That's what it is.
I'm
Yeah.
curious on something. Like, okay, so you're on this personal development journey. We use a lot of different tools, whether it be love languages, Enneagrams, Myers-Briggs. I'm just curious. What was your Enneagram? I don't know if you've done any personality tests or anything like that. I'm curious if you have.
I haven't done it, but my motivation to get out of that funk was I was raised by a single mother. She's like, you don't give yourself the luxury of just like staying in your zone of comfort. You have to go out or you're gonna lose your job. Because I was like, if you don't do this, then you're gonna lose your job.
So lose your job, but what would happen to if you're front facing now and people would see you be not the way that you wait, did I just catch you said the reason I had to start taking care of myself is because my mom said I had to look different or I'd lose my job?
No.
Okay,
The
maybe I just
reason
jumped put those
why
together.
I went through the whole personal development growth was because I was like, all right, I cannot sit in my pile of own shit. I have to get out and I have to overcome my fears.
What was your fears?
Well, part of it was I'm more visible, then I'm gonna like people are gonna like pick me apart or
So you
all
feel like judged or embarrassed?
Mhm.
So I don't want to be judged or embarrassed. And so I need to work out and take care of myself. All right.
Can feel comfortable being more. I know our clients are the loveliest things on the human on this planet, and I know that they wouldn't ever do that. But part of that was my insecurity just speaking to
It's
myself.
human. People judge even
Yeah.
subconsciously. We can't pretend like your clients are the only ones that don't judge people. Everybody judges. Subconscious, especially ladies. It's built in. You know this. You work with women. It's built in to judge. It's not even with an intent to do harm. It's just like they do it.
That's how we're wired. Yeah.
How you're wired. So it's not even, trying to be mean. Especially I did a podcast with Miriam Belcher. She works with women also. She says, she works more on the feminine energy side, which is fast. That's not my side. I work with the guys. And so, for her to explain like that wounded woman side, the wounded feminine side is highly judgmental, always putting other women down, always comparing and always going, you're not this, you're too much that, you're too big, you're too small, you're too tall, you're too short, your colors aren't right, you're, whatever, always judging, judge.
You're too fat, or
Always
you're too short,
never good enough, never
not
right.
good enough. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a tough thing where like, if people are coming in for coaches, there's usually some form of wound that needs to be healed. Something's wrong that we need to build right, and you're not probably wrong that people would be judging, but who was judging you the most, do you think?
Myself.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So did you catch just as far as your default program? Why did you get so far down in this rabbit hole where you were judging yourself so poorly to begin with, where you just stopped caring of yourself? Was there, just a series of events, or was this just the behavior that just kind of spiraled for like a decade?
It spiraled. Yeah. Ever since I was little, I was like always like on the chunkier side and I struggled to make friends in like first grade all the way to like high school. And like now, if I were to make friends back then, it was just like a small, like compact group. And I was always like the chunkier girl in the group. And like no one would ever like want to like go out with me because I was like always like the chunky girl. So
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Warrior, thank you so much for being a part of the information that we have. And you're part of our story as we are a part of yours. It's very much an honor to be able to connect with each other. If you want to know more or you want to get started with working with me or working with our warriors so that you can begin your path to authenticity, strength, leadership, and accountability, this is the way. Together, we are way stronger. Now you get to choose. Do you go forward or keep doing what you've always done? If you stay where you're at, hey, click on some of the stuff and follow what it is. We got motivational stuff. We've got podcasts. We've got more things. Just subscribe and do the stuff and we'll keep you updated. But if you want to start going in, start jumping into what our programs offer and start your journey and being the hero in your own story.
So you think people weren't attracted to you just because you were chunkier? Or do you think there was some sort of like energy or vibe about you because you weren't secure with yourself?
I think it's both.
Yeah.
They could sense it, and then also I wasn't comfortable with myself. So
different energy, totally different energy. Listen, I'm gonna be real with you. Like my girl's lost over pounds since we've been together. For herself, not because I make her do nothing. This is just for her, and she's still on her journey. My girl's thick. I love it. I love it. Hi, Andrew. I'm down with the thickness. My girl's. She got hips. She got those big thighs. Oh, love my baby. Like it's beautiful to me. And so like there's an energy that comes with it that's like you could be down on yourself, but there's still guys who are like, that's cool to me. I still find it very attractive, and so this is where like it'd be hard pressed to say because you were chunkier is why people wouldn't choose you. There's still a vibrant energy, some persona, some level of just being around you. It's like, yeah, I'm not really feeling it because you're not feeling it. If you don't like you, how can I like you?
Right.
Yeah, so I'm just putting it out there where you're like, it's because I was chunky, and I'm like,
No,
I don't know if that's always
the energies weren't matching.
Yeah, right. In which case, yeah, your entire identity at this point is routed in, I must be the chunky one. And
I'm chunky.
Yeah, now I got a question for you. Now, this is maybe a stereotype that maybe you can prove or disprove or help me understand better. I usually see whenever you watch like the younger girls, teenage girls or whatever, there's usually like the really skinny one and then you got the big girl that are usually the friends. And it's like some sort of like, I don't know, symbiotic relationship here where it's like the skinny one seems more attractive because of the bigger one, but the bigger one can be the protector or something, or like the I don't know, what's the wingman or the
Like the
gatekeeper? Yeah, I don't know, like the keep the guys away one, or I don't know what the deal was. I don't know if you were part of this type of dynamic or what. Okay, please explain from your point of view. What was that? What was that?
To make sure that my friend doesn't get hurt. So I was always like, I was the bodyguard. Out of like my skinny group friends, I was always the bodyguard, or I was in another friend group, I was the one who would get taken advantage of because I seemed weaker.
You're the bodyguard?
Yeah.
And then you're taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Who's it for you?
No one.
Sounds like a guy's job. Sounds like you took on a male role, like a masculine role for that friendship.
Yeah.
That's a guy's job. Was protector. I have to make sure that I keep my girl safe. Do you know who protects me?
Who protects the man?
Nobody's coming. Nobody. That's the luxury of safety, security, the reassurance that usually is able to fall more on the female side is because the reason you can feel safe and secure is because I'll put my body and my life in harm's way to make sure you have it. I don't get safety security, so you can.
Does the men feel bothered by that because they don't have anyone to secure them, or it's just how men are wired? They're meant to be protective and secure.
Yeah, as far as it's not even necessarily like that we feel secure because we understand danger. Like we understand that this is a risk, but we also have to accept the risk to it. And so I haven't heard very many from the men, especially my soldiers, my veterans, my guys who are, they'll go on the front lines, even in like, home security, you name it. Like they'll stand up for the right thing. I can't say I can really recall guys really feeling like I need more security, I need more security. They're more going like, I understand the risk of what it is to be a protector. And so it's different, it's different. And for like, as a female taking on that role, it seems kind of against your biology to go like, I'll put myself in danger and nobody will stop anyone from taking advantage of me or hurting me. But why? And the reason I would say it's different is because as guys, it's almost an honorable position to be a protector. But as a female, putting yourself in harm's way with no backup doesn't seem as, it seems more like self-deprecating, almost like I'm not worth protecting.
So I got to do it for someone else.
Yeah, well, I don't deserve someone to do it for me because of the way you would talk to yourself. Maybe because I'm chunkier or because I'm not the pretty one, I don't deserve someone to protect me. Was there any part of that in there?
That's a good question. I believe that stems from the lack of like father figure in my life.
Was your dad not around?
No.
What age did your dad leave?
Ooh, he was around, I was 10 years old when my parents got divorced.
Dang, and then your dad was gone?
He was gone.
That's really tough. How did your mom treat your dad when he was around? Respectful, high dignity, high
Well,
praise.
my mom was always the provider. She
Mhm.
always took on that masculine role, whereas my dad, he was like, "Oh, I can't work because I want to go to college. Like, I want to get my master's degree." So my mom would work two jobs, whereas my dad would stay home studying. And then I remember these stories coming from, I was like 7, 8. Well, they were still together. So my mom would work two jobs. I hardly saw my mom. But with my dad, he was physically there, but as a father figure, he wasn't.
Would you call your dad a good protector,
No,
good presider, good leader?
no.
Was he a good provider? So how was your dad treated for this?
I was treated. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, was he treated with respect? Was he treated with honor and dignity? Or was he treated like, damn, like, I need you to do something around here, dude?
I think it was that. I'd do something.
Yeah. And so it makes perfect sense, though. Then he leaves and he's gone. You've never seen a guy do it right. How are you supposed to know what a good one looks
I don't know. I don't know. Gotta fill it out, I guess. Or why is this making me like emotional? Or
like? Because you're a human and we're talking about real stuff.
I guess it would be look. I don't know. Look for something that your dad didn't do for you, or is that just like my daddy issues, like speaking for me? But
Yes.
I want a guy who's there for me, physically, emotionally, everything.
How would you know if you saw it? Nobody ever showed you what it looks like. How are you supposed to know? In fact, even in your friend group, you took on the father role.
I did. I was always the one protecting my friend.
Yeah, almost trying to make up for the sins of the father. Compensate for my mom having to do so much.
The absent father has played out. It played out in that relationship.
Hmm.
I took crumbs
Yeah. You wanted to be chosen by somebody who was never going to choose you.
so badly.
It's interesting how we do that subconscious curse, huh? We're going to try and find love for somebody who mimics what you know of love, even though that's not what love is. It's tough. It's a tough one to break.
Yeah.
So, how have you done your work in this journey here to be able to like do the thing that has never been done in your life? How do you find and respect a good man when you haven't found a respectable man? You didn't see a guy worth respecting. How do you?
I don't treat them bad. I want them to treat me how I'm used to. My mom treats me like everyone around, like now, everyone treats me like they treat me well. So I'm not going to take scraps from anyone. Like I know what I deserve and I know what I want. And if you don't have it, then we're not a good fit.
Yeah. How do you figure out what you're? How do you know what you deserve? How do you know what, like, here's what I deserve? How do you know? How do you measure it?
I think, is it going to sound entitled? But I think I've gone through like enough to know what I deserve. Like I've gone through a lot of, and I think that's just me being entitled, but I think I know what I deserve. I feel like I've gone through like enough to know that I deserve a good person in my life.
Well, I didn't say anybody deserves a bad person, but I am going to ask, like, the warrior in me is always going to ask questions to understand. And so I'm going to be like, well, how do I know if I deserve? Can you please explain? Like, how did you figure out this is what I know I deserve? What if I was running into a self-worth issue and I want to know, how do I find what I deserve? I would love to hear your opinion on, like, here's how you can find your worth and here's how you can find your value in order to sustain a dynamic where you know what you deserve and don't deserve. No.
I think your answer is within yourself. You have to it takes a lot of time for the answers to come to you. You have to do a lot of like internal work.
All right, I'm in here. Where do I go? Is it here? Is it here? Is it my belly? Where's it at? Where do I search?
I think it's all here because your mind just stops you, and then you just have to be like, all right, what do I really want from a guy? And then honestly, I think scripting or manifest, like writing it right, the characteristics of what you want.
Coach Z, we're gonna go there. I'm gonna go there, sister. Where's your list? Where's your manifest list? Where's your this is my guy I deserve list? I did this experiment with my ladies and my men. I want to see your list. Where's your list?
And this isn't a journal. Like, I'm traveling right now. So my list is
oh, I see. Okay, we're skipping. All right.
So if I were to remember from the top of my head, I want a respectable man who gives me my place in his life, who doesn't hide me.
This is a tricky one. What is the respectable level? Like, what level should you be at for a man?
Who doesn't bitch.
Oh, no. Name calling is a different thing. I just mean, like, I thought you meant priorities. Like, you're a priority to him.
No,
what priority should you be?
Listen, you have a mom, you have a grandma. I know that they're, like, right there. Like, I'm not saying throw away your mom and, like, give me her place. No, I know that there's people in front, like, there's people who matter the most to you, but I want to secure my spot in your life. Like, make me think that I'm worthy enough keeping around.
What number is the unacceptable? Is it 8?
No,
12, 10. I didn't think. All right, so if as long as you're in the top 10, we're good.
It's important, and they're always going to be there for you. But I want to know where I stand in your life.
All right, so if you're number 9, that's still good.
No, I want like number 5.
Oh, so you gotta be 5 and up.
Second cousin, your third cousin. Put me up.
Well, what if it's not just family? What if there is mom in there and there is dad? But what about God? What about yourself? What about career? Like, where should you fall? You're like, I need to be at least number 5, sucker.
Well, you have your entity that you believe in. You have your parents, you have your grandma, you have your work. If you're a hardworking man, then that's a turn on. And I don't mind you working up until like 7. And do what you gotta do, boo boo. Do what you gotta do, so, so that we can all work together and build a life that we both want. A
All right.
hardworking man is a must for me.
Gotcha. So he's got to be prioritizing some sort of business or passion or work or something. He's got to be working towards something, right?
Of course.
All right. So that would mean even like on your best day, you're hitting number 5 on. That's like if you did a good job, you're at number 5.
That's fine by me.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm just checking. Listen, we gotta know because some people will be like, "I'm number 13. Is that good?" You're like, "Oh, no, Coach G, it's not." All right. Listen, top 5. Listen, my girl and I, we do it. She's in my top 5. So I think she's my number 4, and I think I moved up to her number 4 also. I'm actually in the same spot with Mom. So.
What?
Yeah.
That's a special one then.
Oh yeah, well she's a type 3 Enneagram, so she's a achiever type. She's a workaholic. She works her butt off. Her identity was in her work long before she met me. But her safety security has been routed in that. Also stems from daddy issues, same things. So it stems from like I have to be able to provide because I haven't seen a man provide. It makes sense. And so she's still working through that stuff. I'm like, we're not struggling for money at all. Like we're good. But she still has to have that safety net on her own. And I support her on her journey. I'm like, if that's what you have to do because you're working through your stuff, I don't have to just pay for it because you need to have that identity taken care of for achievement. We can just work it out, but we do have to do a lot of work. Both of us, our heart sides were repressed because of the abuse that we went through and the abandonment. And so that's where we're doing our work because love is on the heart side, but people try and logic love. They try and spiritual love. They try and force love, but it's on the heart side. It's a connection thing. So we've been hurt a lot, so we're trying to work through that.
That's good. You guys are working together too.
Yeah, it sounds romantic, but it's dirty. It's messy work. it's the stuff people don't want to do. It's uncomfortable. It's not
really
fun.
pain. No one wants to go through that.
What's that?
No one wants to go through like the growing pains of like it's kind of like shedding like your old ego.
In certain spots, yes. My heart side is not ego. My wish side had ego. My mind side, ego. My spirituality side, I never even got into it with ego. It used to be I fought it with ego, but that was with mind versus spirit. And so now I'd surrender on that side. And so totally different deal. My heart side is wounded hard. You know, inner child work. I started doing my inner child stuff. I didn't even know what that was. Real talk. I was like, inner child stuff is stupid. I can't find it. But mind side warriors are like, it's not in there. Body side warriors, achiever, champions, fighters, perseverers, action oriented. It's not in there. Spirit side, it's not in there. It's in the heart side. And so people have a lot of times when, especially men, men have a lot of heart side repression. And guys who are heart side warriors really struggle because they still have to repress their strongest part. It's tough. It's tough for the fellas out there. I'll tell you what, and so a lot of those guys are really struggling because they can't show emotions in the same way women do. Women are it's far more acceptable to show your emotions than when men do. So really tough for the heart side warriors because they're like, man, I am so emotional, but I can't show it.
Is that
that's why it manifests as anger?
Has society made men think that they can be emotional because they come up as weak?
Who do you think they're trying to impress that judges this?
Women.
It's the same people you were worried about. It's the ones who are going to judge you or make you feel bad. It's the ones who are going to look at you and tell you you're too fat, you're too dumb, you're too whatever, blah, 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 judgment, judgment, judgment. It's the same people. You're too weak. You're a crybaby. Stop being a bitch. Man up already. If we have hearts, they're shamed. You know the between guilt and shame?
Mm.
Guilty means I feel bad for what I did. But shame is feeling bad for who you are. And these guys feel bad just for being, because if you have a heart, there must be something wrong with you. And it's proven over and over again. How often do you see a guy share information that's not, it's not romantic and it's not pretty. It's something in his past or something that like he's not proud of. And instead of a conversation, there's condemnation.
Plenty of times.
There's an argument, and you work with enough women. The argument I've seen women make, it was, and even my stepdaughter called it out too, that women can't handle the truth when it's their truths, but they sure as hell can handle other people's truth, and they can handle, they'll put it down on people. Oh, you better be honest. You better tell the truth. You better be real. You better not come incorrect. What about your shit? What about my shit? My shit. I don't even want to talk about my shit. My shit's good to go. I'm good. I'm comfortable. No, you're not. Don't talk about my truth. But if a guy was like, yeah, listen, we've been together for a while. I've, changed my ways, but I in the past, let's say, something that's a non-negotiable is something he used to do. Like I cheated on my exes. I did that multiple times. That's who I was. And you're like, oh, now you're telling me this now? Tell me there's not a guard that goes up instead of going, how have you worked through that, hon? Mm-hmm. Well, this motherfucker's gonna cheat on me.
Why are you telling me this now?
Yeah, see, the defense came up. Instead of going, well, let me look at this guy with compassion and thank you for your courage to be open and honest, and your sincerity seems important to me. So you being able to open up and tell me, no. You just told me you're about to cheat on me, dude. He's like, no, I turned a new leaf. I don't do that anymore. Lesson. Yeah, but how many people did you do that with to learn the lesson? I'm already judging you. Let me see your phone.
Yes.
So guys learn very quickly. I don't know if my girl can handle the truth, because if I tell her the truth, even if it's good news, she turns it into a fear. Self-preservation, safety, security, reassurance. And as soon as you showed me that you are not the strongest branch, I am going to really looking. I'm going to start questioning everything. I was being open and honest with you. I remember one time, I had told a girl who I was dating, I said, hey, listen, I just wanted to call you and let you know, even when tested, I found that I very much choose you and I appreciate you. I had some girl when I was at work came on to me real hard, and I was like, nope, not interested. Not my thing. Like, I've got a girl. And she was like, you better give me this number. I'm going to call her and she better not be talking to my guy. And I was like, I told you, I said no. Like, I was like, choose you. Why are we calling this girl now? She had nothing to do with shit. She was just a girl trying to meet a dude. And I said, no, I choose you. I was happy because it was even when tested, you win. Turned into this huge drama thing. These girls going back and forth. I felt terrible because all I was trying to do was say, I choose you. And it turned into this huge drama ordeal, which was supposed to be a good thing and telling the truth. And I did the right thing. And I'm a good guy. I did the right thing. And even that turns into this huge drama show. I wonder if I should be telling the truth. Who teaches us this? It's the ladies. That wasn't from my dad. That wasn't from my mom. That was girls be crazy.
Yeah.
So who teaches us what we have to push this down? I have to stop. I have to push my heart down. I have to suppress this. Don't talk about that. But suppression leads to expression. And then we have to go into it, Coach Z. When you're working with the ladies and you got a guy who can ugly face cry, life is so hard. He starts falling apart. Tell me it's like that dude's off the chart sexy to the ladies. They feel safe, secure, and this guy's got them covered. He's getting laid tonight. I can't handle this. Tell me. That was a good look? Good look for the dude?
Too much. There's too much tears coming from a man.
Yeah, it seems like the correct number is 1 to 2 stoic tears. Like if I'm crying, it can be like 1 solitary tear, stone-faced. 2. But that's enough.
Yeah.
That's enough. Enough crying. Back to business. 1 tear. That's allowed. Can't ugly face cry though. Okay, you can still have feelings, but it better be well within control.
right. Like,
Right. Now, guys who can't do that because they get rejected. I've been rejected for having to go through a negative emotion. I remember as soon as I cracked the code when I was mid-teens, I found out like I was highly abused, highly abused. I didn't understand. I didn't have any comparison. But once I was in high school, I realized nobody else had stories like I had. Nobody else had the scars like I had. Nobody else had those things. I didn't know. Once I realized I'm a highly abused child in multiple ways. I didn't understand. I didn't know the difference. And as soon as I figured this out, I was struggling. I was crying. I had a girlfriend at the age I was 15. Called her. I'm like, oh my God, I think I'm really abused. And I call her crying and I'm sorting it out. And it's so much information all being processed at once. And I have no training. I'm a child. She listened. Next day broke up with me. Which is I'm not blaming her. I'm not blaming her at all. She's 15. Like she's got like the capacity to handle some kid who's been abused his whole life. Info dropped. Can't handle that. She's not qualified. What therapy school did she go to? 0. She's freaking sophomore. So there's not even a psych class until senior year. What are we doing? So she's not qualified for this. I don't blame her. But it did teach me a lesson that if you cry to your grace up with you. I'll teach you. That'll learn you. Well,
but then it also comes from the women who take on men who are broken and trying to fix them. Like they take them on like there's some sort of like science project. Think I can go in and fix this man.
Yeah. Yeah, the wounded birds. I actually ended up doing this as I got older. As I started working through my trauma, breaking through my curses, I started becoming very attracted to women who had been abused. Broken wounded birds is what I called them. Because when I grew up in an abusive house and I was, in that household, I couldn't protect my mom. I would get hurt trying to because there's no match. An 8-year-old versus a 30-year-old, it's not a match. And so couldn't do anything about it. Couldn't stop it. So once I got older and stronger and figured out how to beat some of these generational curses and started cracking some of these things down, I was like, I want to be able to help the women I couldn't help when I was smaller. You know what's messed up about this is it doesn't work, even for the women who want to have the men like this. The reason why is even if it works, it doesn't work. The crazy part is I was actually successful. I would get with broken women and I would help nurse them back. I would help them work through molestation, rape, abuse, abandonment. You name it. We work through it and build their confidence and strength and their authenticity and they would do better. But then once they started doing better, ironically, I wasn't as attracted to them because of 2 reasons. One, I no longer had a purpose in their life because they were now better and I'm not helping them fix anything. I'm not fixing something that's working. So who am I in this relationship dynamic? And then the other version of it, if I'm not attracted to them anymore. They've done damage now to me. If you've ever done anything to a wounded animal, they'll claw and scratch and you'll get scarred up. And so now when they do regular movement, like, hey, let me grab that thing. You're like, oh, shoot. And you're like, why did you flinch at me? Why? I'm like, I got scars all over my arm from you. You're like, but I was just grabbing the salt. I wasn't attacking. I'm not going to get you. And now you have a whole persona about her that she's going to hurt you. So I'm like, I'm out of here. I've got no purpose here, and I don't see you the way that you are. Now I would heal them and leave. How weird is that? That's a weird curse. I had to break that one. That one is unhealthy. Doesn't work. Even if I helped them, it didn't work. Yeah, that one was tough. I had to break that one out because that was when my mom and dad were highly abusive to each other, and I couldn't protect or save anybody. I couldn't do anything. So started trying to save people. Doesn't work. No. It works. You just feel terrible, and then you don't even get to be with the person you helped. That's just part of my stories. That's the guy side. This is what the boys have to deal with. This is a big-hearted dude. It's just broken. Broken pieces. A lot of broken pieces. But yeah, a lot of my damage came from, like on my side, it was the girls. It was the women who did more damage to me. My parents' stuff was a lot easier to sort through, but the broken heart stuff, my inner child, that was a lot of parent stuff. Way easier to sort. Way easier. I've already beaten that with my warrior, my mind side, my spirit side. Already beaten it. So my heart side child going in, oh, he's doing great, crushing it. My lover, my romantic side, he's probably the most depressed part inside of me. Saddest guy. He's the guy who sits in the corner. His box of broken pieces of his heart.
What was the breaking point for me to work on all these areas in my life? Like, I can't continue going on like this. And like,
the rock bottom moment. It happened when I was late 19. I was dating my high school sweetheart at the time. We've been together for about 3.5 years. I grew up in such an abusive home that I only ever knew like smash stuff, get in fights, break things, hurt people. Like that's what we did. I grew up in Sparta. I was in, in one of the outer inner city areas for Detroit. It was 8 Mile and Telegraph, so I was like a couple miles down from where Eminem grew up. Like, it's not a fun area. It's not nice, So this area wasn't good, and we grew up in a hostile area with hostile upbringing. So like our house was not kind. My parents and family still get in fights. Even this month, I was just telling the story. Like, stepmom, aunt, my dad, my little brother, they've all gotten in fights, and it's been like this guy's 60. What are you doing? Like, they're like, hey, that's what we do. We're Spartans, that's what they do. And I'm like, okay, tell me the stories. My family here, my girls, they think I'm talking about Neverland. Captain Hook and the Lost Boys. And they're like, that never happened. I'm like, okay. But then they'll hear other people from like the area I grew up with. I had a guy who jumped on one of my webinars I grew up with telling the story. Like, they don't understand how crazy we were at. They don't understand. My family doesn't get it. I'm like, I remember that. I was there. Like, people don't understand how wild that was. And when I was in the car with her one time, we were arguing over something. It was something stupid. It was something so dumb I don't remember. It was like a rumor or something. I don't remember what the thing was, though. But I got so angry that I punched the car window. I just punched my car window and shattered the window. Like, I hit it pretty hard. If you ever watch videos, there's a kid with a hammer trying to break a window in the car and can't break it. Like, well, the car windows are tough. And I just shattered this car window. She's in the passenger seat, so I didn't hit her, but I'm punching and breaking things at this point. She's like, oh my God, I can't even with you. And so she gets out of the car. She's crying because she's scared, because that's a normal response for a psycho. And so like, I get out of the car. Now I'm standing in a just a giant little blanket of broken glass from my window, blood pouring down my arm because I just punched glass like a, genius. So I have blood pouring down my arm. She's crying in front of me, walking up to her house. And in this moment, I'm sitting here going, this is what I was trained to be. I was trained to be this guy. Smash things, break things, make people you love cry. You'll be bleeding and just a trail of your own broken things. Remember in that moment, I said, this is not the guy I'm going to be. Like, I don't want to be this man. This is 19 years. I'm almost 20. This is my whole life. I was trained. This is how you handle things. I got story after story. I got burns. I got cuts. I got all kinds of stuff. I got story after story. That's like, this is how you handle things. And in that moment, I was like, I denounce all of my training. I don't know what the right way is, but I know this isn't the way I'm going to go. In that moment, it was in that moment, which is why I wrote my first book, Everything is a Choice. That's why I wrote it, is because if in one moment I can decide I'm going to like completely and utterly rewire my entire belief system to be something different. In one moment, I'll take all the training I've ever known and I'll toss it in the do not do file. And I'll start fresh. If I could do that, well, then anybody could do this. Anybody can change a belief. Anybody can do this. And this was the foundation piece. Even the moment is a poem that I wrote, in the Warrior's Way. It says, like, at any given moment is when the breakthrough happens. It may take a week, it may take a month and a year, but at some point it'll have I'm done. No more. From now on. There's a moment where it clicks. And that's what we work towards, is the moment that it clicks. And I had that moment that it clicked when I'm sitting there with someone I love crying. Blood pouring down my arm and my own broken things. And I said, this is not the man I'll ever be. I'm done. I'm going to be something different from now on. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't have a good example of a good man. I have no idea, but I'm not this. So that's what sparked it. That's what sparked my personal development journey. That's what sparked me going into, I have to learn how to crack this. I have to figure out these pieces. I have to get rid of this curse. This curse is not the man I want to be. I had to stop letting the Hulk out. I had to stop letting him out. He can't have free reign. He just hurts. And as a young teenage guy, I was wild, reckless dude, picking fights, going into mosh pits and hitting the biggest dudes on purpose. Reckless, wild. A honey badger. I don't give a shit. And so that was who I was, and I had to change tones. I had to switch gears and become something better. Since then, I've been evolving in all different areas. I'll be open with you, like all the way from like probably 20 to maybe even like in my early mid 30s, like 33, 34. It's just the grind, the struggle, not successful reading, associate, trying to get it, but not clicking. It just wasn't clicking. But in the last handful of years, within this decade, this probably last 7 years or so, click, 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 click. It just started clicking. You know, and it wasn't because of any given certification I got or any class I took or any of the things that I got. It wasn't for any of those. It was just the breakthroughs of finding my authenticity started to connect with my strengths. And I realized I'm really good at certain things because of the trauma that I've gone through, because of the wounds that I healed, and because of the things that I've gone through has now become the reason that I can pull people out of hell. In fact, when I see someone damaged, I go, I see where you're at. I used to be there. Or like, I know what that is. I had a friend who had that. They were one block over. I know how to get to you. I used to live right down the street from that. I'm coming to get you. Just make sure you have your shoes on because I don't carry anybody. This is where it's different. So because of the stuff that I went through and because I was able to curses, all of them, generational, both sides, both family sides, broke all the curses, beat them all, figured out doubt, figured out fear, I figured out depression, I figured out anger, which was a tough one because there was too many benefits. It was a really tough one for me. And then cracked excuses, moderation on distractions. You know what the nastiest one is for women and for guys? You know what the nastiest one is? Denial. Oh, denial is the hardest, the craftiest of all. And it's one of the only ones that works seamlessly to team up and hype man. Anyone. Anger and depression have a hard time hanging out together, but denial hangs out with both easily. Denial is probably the hardest one. Had me evaded for a long time. It's a Trojan horse. It's a protector. It's the makeup, it's the persona, it's the attitude, it's the masks that we wear to make it so we get success. It's the thing that makes it work. It's the thing that makes you live a life that doesn't have any authenticity to it at all, though. Because you're living your life as a mask. You're living your life as a character or a persona or an image. Well, if you're spending all these minutes living as a character, whose life are you living?
Someone else's life, someone else's dream, something that it's not really who you are.
So your life. Because you're not living yours. So it takes those minutes away from you. The moments that you could be loved for who you are, well, those are given to your mask. I did a podcast this week with a guy named Corey, and he was a master of the masks. Master. In fact, he would become the CEO of companies that didn't even know how to do the job. He was so good at being convincing at whatever it was he was doing. He's like, I'm on the chair board for HVAC and plumbing, and I've never done either of those. I don't know how I get these things. I don't know what I'm doing, but like people are like, you need to be on this. And somehow I get these jobs from jobs I've never done. I don't know what. He's a master of changing. He's a chameleon. But he also is running into imposter syndrome because he hasn't had any moments of true fulfillment because none of them are his. It takes a lot of courage to take off the masks.
That's a huge one among women in the coaching community. They're afraid of coming off as an imposter.
Which makes them become something inauthentic. Denial is the hardest curse for all my women. I haven't had a single woman in any group that I've had who hasn't had a denial curse at the core. And you know who put it there? It was a woman. You're not skinny enough. You need to change yourself. You're going to lose your job that way. It was a woman. It's usually a mom or an aunt or a mom or grandma or somebody. There's a woman who usually put that in there. Or it could have been from Cosmo, social media. Something put it in there. But it was very rarely a guy who created that wounded feminine side.
Yeah, no, it was. I know where it comes from. It comes from my mom and my grandma.
Mm-hmm.
They were both young. They were all into like the dieting fads, and they would fast and they would drink all the juices, anything possible that you could think of, they would do just to like stay skinny when they were both like really young. So then here I come. I'm like the chunky little girl, and they're like, "You need to lose weight."
Yeah, that puts a doubt curse right inside of you. You're not good enough the way you are. The comparisons that hurt the most.
My sister was a model.
Fuck her.
Yeah.
Bitch. That made life hell.
She was the taller, skinnier one, and I was always on the shorter, chunkier side. So,
Damn. Every day is comparison. Not to mention the attention that she got.
well, she was much older, and she was a prettier one, and I didn't think I was that pretty.
Mm.
I was like the ugly duckling, basically.
What a burden. Except now it makes you humble. Because you can appreciate more because you had to come up from the hard stuff. At least I've noticed women who came from like I used to be not attractive and feel like I didn't deserve things, but now if I got a good guy, I am appreciative. Because they never used to look at me before, but now I got one who's like, fuck yeah.
I think it's weird receiving. For me, there's still a lot of work that I need to do in order to like receive from a man. So every time a guy treats me around, I'm like, this is weird. I'm not used to this.
Yeah, thanks, Dad. Yeah, the reason why is that the natural state of being for women. You should really listen. We're posting it up, I think today. The one with Miriam, about a woman's natural being is to receive. And in fact, it's her natural state is to be a receiver, even physically, intimately, like with intimacy, like receiving is the way it's built. Women are meant to just receive. Like I am supposed to be receiving. Guys go hunt and gather and we'll bring you the deer. You receive, you distribute. Like you're meant to receive. That's how we're built. Yet you think you're supposed to be a doer and not a beer. You're a human doing, not a human being. And so you're not able to receive because you feel unworthy. I was never good enough to deserve receiving. But that's your natural state. And if you're able to be open to receiving, you'll receive more. But if you're blocking your blessings because you're running into a doubt curse for unworthiness, you're going to be missing all the good parts in life.
What if it's just like what if it's like a glitch in the system? Those are the stories that I tell. Like this is a fluke. It's a glitch. It's not real.
The answer isn't the solution. The answer is your belief system is corrupted by something. You have a belief system that's not authentic, and it's put in there most likely by the women in your life. And you have to have your warrior strong enough to challenge it. The warrior part of you is the part that asks why, even against the answers you don't want to hear. There's a quote I use often. It's a Bernard Hayes quote. It says, advances are made by advances are made by answering questions, and discoveries are made by questioning answers. So first we have to answer questions, and then after we answer the question, we have to challenge the answers. All right, I answered it, but is it really me? Is that really mine? Is this authentic? Does it feel right, or am I trying to make it fit? We got to keep digging. That's your warrior. Warriors ask why. People don't like why, by the way. It's the most dangerous letter in the alphabet. Hell, I've seen people lose debates to 3-year-olds, and they just keep asking why.
Why?
Why? Well, it's because they're trying to turn a profit. Why? Well, because they want to make more money. Why? Right? Because they have families or something. Why? Because they fell in love, I think. Why? Because love happens if you meet. I don't know. Like you could just why somebody right into oblivion.
Yeah.
Try doing it to ourselves. Do you have the courage to challenge your own belief systems? Most of them came from us, though.
I don't think I have it in me, honestly.
You do. There's a warrior in you. You've been working this far. You just haven't trained it. Women aren't trained to have that part of them, to have the courage. Fear hates courage, by the way. Hates it. Wants to kill your courage right away because that's how you beat them. Doesn't like when you have hope. Doesn't like when you have courage. Doesn't like when you have faith. Doesn't like those things.
No.
But you can challenge those. There's a warrior inside of you. Did you know?
All right now, not in this state.
This is the state. It is the state. When you're going to look at something that scares you and say, I'm going to do it anyways. When you think about a thought that hurts your feelings and you say, let's go into it. When there's a resistance to something and you don't run away, you move toward. Let's go see what it is. I'm something here. Let's go check it out. This is why people like hanging out with me. You're going to be like, I don't like how that feels. And I'm like, let's go see what it is. Like, it could be a monster. I'm like, I'm not scared. I'm not afraid of monsters. I'll show you how to kill them. Let's see what kind of monster it is. Is it a doubt monster, a denial monster, a fear monster, a depression monster, anxiety monster? Let's see which one it is. Killed them all. They're not that tough when you know how they work. Let's go find it. When you're hanging out with another warrior, it's exciting. Box shields. I'll show you how this one's weak.
Yeah.
So find these pieces. This I'm gonna give you a weapon. I'm gonna teach you a skill. Do you want one? You can use this with your clients. This is a warrior's way weapon. Do you want one?
Yeah.
I'm gonna teach you doubt. Self-doubt is a monster. It's part of your worthiness. It's a thing that makes you feel not good enough. I'm not worth it. I'm not good enough. I'm not whatever enough. Pretty enough, skinny enough, whatever enough. You pick it. The definition for doubt is that doubt offers nothing but takes from you everything. That's what doubt is. Doubt offers nothing but takes from you everything. Come to your motivation, anything that you've ever wanted to achieve, anything you ever wanted to grow or do or feel proud of yourself, where it's going to come right in after it. That's not going to work. That's a stupid idea. You're not good enough to coach. No one's going to listen to you. Why would anybody want you on a podcast? These are the things that doubt is going to try and ask you. You're not pretty enough. No one's going to pick you. These are all doubt. Have you ever heard any of these sentences before?
No.
Oh, this is for this asshole hangs out in your head rent-free all the time. You want to know how to beat them? Each one of these sentences is an offer. Do you know what the offer is? If you said, I have a dream to be a great coach, and doubt says, no one's going to listen to you. What's the offer? Is there an offer to improve your system? Is there an offer to learn a new skill? Is there an offer to, in some way, shape, or form, create more relatability or connection? No one's going to listen to you. What's the offer? Do you see it?
It's a skill that you can learn. You have the opportunity to do something new.
What's doubt offering you, though, by saying no one's going to listen to you?
Insecurity.
Well, which insecurity is it offering?
Good enough.
Yeah, that's an offer still. You're not good enough. What am I offering you?
It's stopping you from doing what you want to do.
Oh, that's what you can choose to do with it, but that's not what the offer is.
That's the offer.
If I said, no one's going to listen to you, what am I actually offering for you to be able to do? Nothing. That's not an offer. So on one hand, let's look at your dream. I can develop a skill. I can get stronger, wiser, fulfilled. I can help people. I can be useful, find purpose. I can have financial freedom. I can help people on a daily basis and really know that I'm making impact. I can build a brand, a name, and I can really have like a true calling of my life answered. I can be something that I'm proud of. Or No one's going to listen to you, and nothing. You got to pick which offer do you want. You're going to go with all of this potential being unlocked and living a fulfilled life, or you're going to go with a guaranteed nothing. Which one do you choose?
All the potential being unlocked.
Oh, potential seems pretty obvious, right? Yet you've been choosing nothing for a long time. Well, you got to decline one of these offers. So whose offer are you declining?
I doubt.
Doubt. Thanks for the offer, but I'm going to pass. Go with potential for something. Let's do another one. You ready? You're not pretty enough. What's the offer?
Nothing.
There is no offer. Well, you're not offering anything. So my other option is to feel confident, happy, proud of myself, and own my shit because I'm the only me that's ever existed, and I love that shit. Or I can choose nothing. You got one of these.
Nothing.
Nothing. Decline your offer. I'm not going to take that offer. That's a bullshit offer. I'm not taking that offer. Thank you, though. Thank you for your bullshit offer, but I decline. You can decline these offers every day, all day. I hung out with Doubt this morning. We had coffee together. He's hilarious. He's like, you're not helping anybody today. You didn't get enough sleep. Coach G, she didn't even listen to you. I'm like, what's your offer? I'm like, I have an offer. You know that. I'm like, well, I decline. We're going to do some cool shit today.
Wow.
Try it. Take any one. You're not anything enough. Pick one that hurts your feelings and let's do it. Let's fight it.
You're not pretty.
You're not pretty enough, right? Well, it's a comparison curse. Compared to who? Because there's a lot of girls, if you go the other way, you're more than pretty enough. But somehow, are we going to like the top 10 or something? Are we going to Instagram with the millions of followers, girls, with the Photoshop bullshit? Which way are we going? Are we going to the ones that are not attractive, or are we only going to the 1%ers?
Not attractive ones?
Which way are you going there? Because you're comparing yourself to something. Which comparison are you doing?
I don't want to be compared to anyone.
You are, because not pretty enough is a comparison to something. Who?
I don't know, some ridiculous standard that men have. You need to look X, Y, and Z. Oh my God. It's me. It's me.
Not men. That's not men. Men likes the curves. It's not men. I did this survey with my guys. I'm like, any of you guys ever care about that size 0 thing I hear women talk about? Not one dude was like, I don't give a shit about that. 0 men care about size 0. Women, though, are as hell on each other with this shit. Hips are in. Butts are in. Thickness is in. That's the new hotness right now. Guys like the jiggly parts. And yet, it's women who are comparing each other to each other. Guys aren't doing that. So is it really guys? Well, no. So who's the comparison to? Who are we listening to? So we got a thing inside. You're not pretty enough. Compared to what? Somebody else? Well, they're not as good at this thing as you are. So who's better?
You. Yourself.
Well, just different. Who cares? There's no offer. You don't get to be them. They don't get to be you. There's nothing there. So are you going to be actually happy and proud of you being who you are because you're the only you that ever existed ever? Or are you going to try and be something that's never going to happen ever?
Be who you are.
It's way easier. I decline your offer. There's no offer there. I'm gorgeous the way I am because there's nobody who's like me. And there's people who would punch a kitten to trade faces with you.
Punch a kitten. That's a new one.
Horrible. That's a terrible thing to do. Punching a kitten will put you straight in hell. But if it makes you, I'm trying to think of something that would be a crazy change of face. I'm just saying. I'm sure punch a kitten is horrible. So just saying, here we are in our own way, looking at offers that are for nothing and accepting them. We're tossing your ability to be proud of yourself, like you, enjoy being around yourself. Look at you and say, I love that thing. That's awesome. Instead, you look and critique and criticize and compare, but there is no offer. Now, this is where it gets dangerous. Now, this is where it's a combination curse, because doubt by itself is offering nothing. Those are easy. It gets dangerous when he teams up with bargaining. You're not pretty enough. But you could be if you bought this product or used this makeup, or if you had this exercise machine, or if you wore this push-up bra, or if you had these eyelashes. You could be if only you do this.
Yeah.
Change who you are and you'll be here. And then who's going to be hanging out with those two is like, oh, am I getting the denial invite that we can live as a fake personality? I can be something that I'm not. We'll call it my true self. Yeah, my truth. We can live as this fake persona. Yeah. Real easy to get wrapped up into this one. Makeup and these fake it till you make it curses. These are oftentimes anywhere between 3 to 5 different curses put together. Makeup is really complicated. Denial, doubt, fear, bargaining, and excuses. Those are the 5 that'll be in there, because if ever challenged, you'll get defensive. Why do you wear all that shit on your face? It accentuates my looks. What's wrong with your face if you have to make it look so different? It's a really deep curse. It starts when girls are like 11.
Yeah.
It's brutal. Again, women. It's a complex curse, though. Tough to beat. It's got 5 different battles to it. You got to beat each one. But doubt by itself offers nothing, especially in your career. You're not going to be good enough. Well, what's your offer? Is it a different job? No. Just said you can't do it. Well, fuck off. That's an offer. I'm good.
I decline. Yeah.
You don't have an offer. You're telling me to get rid of my dreams for nothing. No, I decline. I'm not taking that. Your mom may say, you're actually not very good at this, and you never were. Well, what's your offer? Are you giving me a new job? Is there some other skill you're teaching me? Is there something I'm missing? No, I just said you're not good at stuff. There's no offer there. Thanks, Mom. Decline. I'm going to go with my potential again. At least that's something. These are my chance for something. Guaranteed nothing if I take that one with you. It takes repetition and awareness. You got to catch them in the moment.
There's a lot of reps you got to put in.
Oh, yeah. But it's an easy one. It's a 1-sentence kill. You don't look good in that dress. You got another outfit for me, motherfucker? No. And I'm rocking this one. And you going to buy me a new one? Because I'm rocking this one. And it's not the dress. This is a meat suit. This is a space suit. It holds a soul. That thing's beautiful. You define your value based on this. This is going to die. This is temporary. This thing is not. I'm going to get grayer and grayer. I'm going to look like Santa Claus in 45 minutes. This thing's going to get grayer and grayer. This is going to die, but the thing that's here, the thing this meat suit holds, that goes on. What's more beautiful? You think it's eyeliner, or is it going to be your spirit?
Your spirit.
Right? So what should we really be proud of here?
Who you are.
Yeah, so that's where there has to be you have to decline the offers for nothing. Because the offers to deny who you are, most of the time is going to be a nothing offer. Especially whenever doubt says you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're not something. There's no offer. Do you see it?
Yeah.
That's a good weapon to put in your arsenal. It's just one of them. Each one has a weakness. Each one has a way to fight it. Short, quick. Every single one. Anger, depression, anxiety, all beatable quickly. We've had a lot of people no longer need medication because we ripped the roots out for the thing that makes it so that fear runs life, or anger runs the house. Mr. Hyde gets to run freely instead of Dr. Jekyll. Or Bruce Banner in the Hulk. You pick, whatever your dual personalities are. Cool stuff, right? This is just one of the weapons that we use in the Warrior's Way. I don't know if you ever saw any of my stuff. I do it all the time.
Wow, no, I love that. Thank
This is so your warrior side has a chance to fight back. Your warrior challenges. I'm gonna ask questions then. You're not good enough. Well, what's your offer? Well, I'm not offering anything. I'm just saying you're not good enough. Then I decline your offer. Come back with something that maybe I can use.
Then we can work together. Yeah.
Maybe. Give me some bargaining at least. At least fucking try. At least offer me some exercise equipment that'll tell me that I can have 5-minute ab shit. Give me at least something. I'm declining these nothing offers all day. You can see it levels you up. You want to really how high level do you want to take a mission assignment on? Do you like hard assignments?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like it? This is one that even very high level coaches, it takes weeks to answer this one. Since you have a worthiness curse, in order for it to be authentic, where does your worth come from? I'm going to help you out. It's not just with you. It's a very, very complex answer. Took me about 3 weeks to answer. Write it down, because this one's going to keep you up at night.
Okay, let me type it on the notes.
Mm-hmm. Where does your worth come from? How do you know how much you really deserve? What your values? What your service? What your purpose? Where's your worth come from? Also, you got different personalities. Your daughter, your girlfriend or wife. You know, people are mothers, friend, your career. Where does your worth come from? You got all these different hats you got to wear. Where does it come from? How do you know what you're worth? Mm-hmm. Enjoy the journey on that dumbass question that'll leave you working for months. It's a tough one. I've had some very brilliant minds have to take weeks to figure it out. Even mine didn't even match what some of theirs were. Mine was this weird sandwich thing between multiple services and self. It's interesting. There's like probably 30 different layers to it. I was like, this is complicated. Damn.
Where does your worth come from? Where does your worth come from?
Enjoy the journey on this one.
Jesus.
It's a tough question. You said you like the hard ones. This one's a hard one.
Yeah.
But once you're able to figuring out where does my worth come from, and it does come from multiple areas, not just within me, because if that was the case, we're fucking worthless. Been kicking my ass for years. It's not just within you. It's part of it, but not all of it. Have fun. Let me know what you find.
I think I have one. Part of it.
You're gonna
Part
want to write.
comes from helping our clients win. Like, I love to see them win.
How do you help people win? Where does your value in helping people win? How do you do it? Where is it? What is the value?
A lot of them are stuck in their mind, and then I feel like I help them unlock the potential. No one takes the time to ask them how
much potential. How much potential does somebody have?
A shit ton of them.
Well, then why don't people have a lot of potential in their lives then? What stops them from using all of this shit ton of potential?
Doubt, fear, insecurities, anxiety.
How much potential do they have then? The answer also for what stops potential is the beliefs. Because doubt and fear and distractions and excuses, they create limiting beliefs. They go in through your feelings to create a belief system to make it so you stop your potential. But if you go in and beat doubt, it doesn't build potential because your belief system is still routed in from whatever doubt put in there. You have to rewire the belief in order for them to be able to grow. Everything starts and ends with the belief system. That's the brain. And like Yeah, well, my dad said I'm not good enough. Well, do you accept the offer? No, you're right. They're not offering anything. But I still just don't think it'll work. You're like, damn, that belief system is corrupted. We have to rewire that you believe it can work. Because if you believe you can, or you believe you can't. Either way, you're right. We got to rewire that you can. We have to get rid of all the pieces with doubt to feelings and most likely the loss that created the green light for that shit to get in there. And then you can rewire your belief system to actually see what your potential is and then put some action behind it that gives you results that reinforces your attitude about it. Sounds so simple.
So complex once you actually do it. Yeah.
Yeah, simple and easy are not the same thing.
Mm-mm.
You're getting ready for battle. Don't fuck with you no more. Listen, you're waiting for someone to doubt you now, aren't you? What's your offer, motherfucker? What's your offer?
Decline.
Decline your offer.
Declining your offer.
I can notice you offered nothing right there. I decline. Thank you for the offer, though.
Thank you. Next.
Mm-hmm. You'll feel much stronger when someone challenges your worth like that. You don't have to carry the baggage of other people's limiting beliefs. You can simply decline the offer for nothing.
Wow. I love that.
Feel stronger?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bring it on now. Someone tell me I'm not pretty enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not a great coach. I'm not whatever. You're not offering shit.
What do you got to offer?
What are you doing? You got an improvement system I don't know about? You got some sort of clean put me in? What do you got? Give me an offer here. Oh, nothing? You're just talking shit? Decline that shit. That's nothing. I'm going to go ahead and stick with my potential. That seems to be a lot more valuable.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Quit kicking your own ass. I don't got that much time in the day.
Yeah. That's a tough one, but I'm going to decline those offers.
Decline the offers, and at some point, like this is where, like you, I'm sure you ladies have heard the thing like love yourself, right? Love yourself, right? It's fucking bullshit. Bullshit. Why don't you start with like yourself? Why don't you start with enjoy hanging out with you? Why don't you start with at least having a mild crush on yourself? Why don't you at least start hanging out with you as much as you can and loving every moment of it before you fall in love with yourself? Because if I said, we're going on a first date and you better love me right away, well, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Why don't we start with like? Why don't we start with like enjoy? Start with be proud of. Take it step by step. We keep teleporting to the end and feeling not good enough.
Yeah, we should enjoy spending time with yourself.
You should. You'd think so. Yet, how many people do you know hate being alone? Well, get creative. Find something you like to do. Try some new shit. There's a lot of stuff to try. You don't have to like it, but at least be like, I tried it. Not my thing.
Next. Yeah.
Sure, let me try something different. Let me go to a paint night or go bowling or ride a horse. I don't pick a thing. Who cares? Like, pick something. Go roller skating. Pick something. Just do stuff and go like, I like that. Don't like that. Dig this one. Hate that one. Fine. At least you did it. Do stuff. Pretty fun though, right? Anyways, I like nerding out and cracking our brains. I think it's a good time. You just fought a curse though. And you're gonna have to fight it over and over again because that belief system got put in deep. I am proud of you. I'm proud of you for trying to step up in the mantle that you wish that a man would have taken, but the biggest courage that you're gonna have is to stop trying to be such a doer and be able to be so you can receive love. Because if you're blocking receiving, it's gonna be hard.
No one has told me that before. Thank you.
You're welcome. Like, you're a warrior in there. You should be proud of yourself. You protect your friends. You got a good heart. You want to help people because you see the value in yourself and in them. You should be proud of yourself, and I'm proud of you.
You.
You're making me tear up now. You gotta slow down. I only get one strong stoic tear here. You're gonna make me mess up my beard makeup.
Yeah.
You did bring up though. I am proud of you.
You.
Feel better?
I
Ready
do.
to kick the shit out of the rest of the day or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good day. Coach Z, I ended up talking this whole time. My bad.
Oh, thank you. You dropped some really golden nuggets in there.
I think you feel good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I have talked 78% of the time here. How can I serve you? In what way can we help so we can do more stuff, or what were we trying to do today? Because I just was in the mood to talk, and I got a class I have to teach here in 30 minutes.
I think you and Amanda can have a good episode. So I'm gonna put you guys in contact and see if she's open to it. I'm pretty sure she will be, but I'm pretty sure.
I'll send you this video so she can see how we talk.
Yeah.
A lot of people are surprised when they see this big, crazy Viking bearded bastard and realize that this is a non-toxic masculine guy.
Yes, I was a little concerned. I'm like, wow, this guy's gonna make me feel like I don't know shit. But no, it was really inspiring. It was a conversation that I think I needed to have.
Good. I could see you leveled up while we were talking.
You did.
Yeah, I could see you like I see you leveled up. You're ready for the next battle. You got one more weapon in your arsenal now. You can be looking for doubt everywhere. Your awareness is going to be much higher. That's just one tool, too. We got tons of these things.
I do. I'm ready for the battle. Ready for combat.
Let's go. Somebody try and give me a shitty offer. Watch what I do.
Try it.
Try it. Try and tell me I'm not enough.
Yeah.
Watch for those judgments. Too, should, not enough. Watch for them. You can be like, I should do what? What's your offer? Yeah, that's your bullshit. I decline.
Next.
Mm-hmm. Someone ever says something enough compared to what? I'm the only me there is. Everybody wishes.
Yeah.
Decline. Permission to be proud of yourself.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I don't give myself enough credit.
Yeah, it's true. It's weird though. We're freaking awesome. People are awesome. But don't judge yourself based on the meat suit. This is the thing that holds your spirit, holds your soul. That thing's awesome. You know, we can work on this thing. People are like, I'm 41. Like, dude, you're in killer shape for 41, dude. I'm like, it's because I was unhealthy. I converted all my anger and my sadness into anger and turned that into motivation. That was a very unhealthy system. I was just filled with rage and had to work out to just outlet it so I didn't hurt my pack. That was not a very healthy system at all. Once I rewired that thing, now I have to work out for pleasure. Totally weird. We have weird things. Inside here is weird. Start going through the muck, though. Challenge everything. You're going to have fun. If you find something terrifying, like, listen, I'm just going to let you know. You find something, you pull a demon out, something you're like, what the fuck is this thing? And everyone's like, we don't know what to do with that. Give me a call.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll fight it. I'll lock shields with you. I'll show you how to kill it.
Awesome.
I don't care. Doubt, fear, denial, distractions, anxiety. I laugh at anxiety.
I'm ready for battle.
You got it. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk with Amanda. I don't. Were we just supposed to be like some sort of an intro conversation? I don't know what we were supposed to be.
I don't know what it was supposed to. I thought it was an intro conversation. That's what your assistant. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what time is it because you say I got class coming up, and yeah, 30 minutes. All right, yeah. So no, it's cool. I feel like we introduced each other. I
We
think we did
did.
it. I think we did
We got it.
it. We did it. Yeah, well, you did a good job. This was cool. You're a great listener. I can see why people like working with you. Yeah, you're a good listener, you're a student, and this is how people become the best leaders. And so, yeah, it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor hanging out with you.
Oh, I loved it. Thank you so much, Rick. I truly appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, I'll email you this video in a little bit here, and it's not edited, so the edited version will have like the intro and stuff, and so Randy ends up finding the parts where I put her name in there, and then I've got like the intro thing that's like, how do you learn who you really are? It's not found in books. It's found on the battlefield. So I go, what's up, everybody, with a radio voice, and then we end up going for it.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
It's just a button I hit. It's actually I recorded that a long time ago. In any case, yeah, it's been an honor. I'm sure we'll talk again. Let Amanda know whatever you guys want to do, if we can help or we can serve in some way to help more people. I do work with women, but I primarily work with men. My path's definitely on the guy side. So we've had a few classes with the women. I have women's coaches, but I have hundreds of men.
So what exactly do you help your clients do?
What we just did right there was just one out of many lessons we do. First, we have to go through about 5 weeks of know thyself. So first we got to go through like your Enneagram, your personality type, your values, your non-negotiables, your fears, your doubts, your things. Who are you? What's your default program? What type of armor to protect yourself? What type of warrior are you? Are you a heart, mind, body? Are you a spirit warrior? Which type are you? And what's your strength that you should be fighting with? So when you go into battle, fight with your style, not my style. You fight your battles with your greatest weapon, not with me. So if you're heart side, I'm body side, fight with heart style. Like, fight with your battle type. Go in with your authenticity. Don't be somebody else. Be you. You're way better when you fight as your style. And so you have to go through and find who are you, because most people don't know how to do that. Finding someone's values, I have almost never seen anybody get it right. They start putting joy and faith or some shit. I'm like, yeah, right. Your values end up be something like collaboration and growth. I'm like, it ends up being something that, how do you choose how you do things? What is your main thing? If things are going wrong or going right, how do you handle it? You don't handle it with joy. You handle that shit with problem solving or knowledge gathering, or calling your network and collaborating, or making sure that you always follow your true north for your intuition and being authentic. It's going to be a different value. People are never good at it. Even my coaches don't know how the fuck I do it. They're like, how do you see these people's things? It's part of the gift. And so, like, going through 5 weeks of that, and then we go in and know thy enemy. And right now, that's one of them is doubt that we did, but we go through all of them. The correlation between bargaining, anger, and depression mixed in with doubt, fear, excuses, and distractions, and how they all work together. Combine those with when you don't have control and you start using different coping mechanisms like retreat, attack, negotiate, and surrender. These are all umbrellas for all the different ways that people will suppress or hide or run away, fight, flight, freeze, all of those. So we have to go, what's the correlation in there, and what do you have to fight? Then after that, we go teach you how to battle. Then you have to go in, and that's when we go in and we start challenging belief systems. We start challenging, what do you really want in your life? Because most people don't actually know. They've been told what they are or what they're supposed to do their whole life. Parents, teachers, coaches, bosses, spouses. When have you not been told what you're supposed to be doing? And then on top of that, you're supposed to always be taking care of somebody. So you're always helping somebody else take care of what they need. So how are you supposed to know what you want? I've either been told what to do, or I'm always helping what they want. So that's a muscle that never gets flexed. It's really difficult for people to do. You have to challenge your cognitive dissonance, things that you know better but still do it anyways. We have to challenge these things. You have to go into battle. And then we find which curses are yours. And then we plan. We prep, just like if you're getting in the ring. Here's your opponent. Let's watch how they fight. Let's watch their style. How do you beat them? What's the best way to do it? Let's use your warrior type. Use your strongest weapons. Now let's go in the game plan. Now we're going to open the box. Now we'll go in the cage. Go get them. There's a game plan. You watch people in therapy or you watch people in counseling, just go right for it. Just open it up and let's throw you in there. You're like, I don't have any training. You're like, just let it out. Let's see what happens. You just start getting beat on by a nightmare that's been in there for 20 years. Somehow you're supposed to do good. There's no training. You don't know yourself. You don't know what you're fighting. And you don't have a game plan yet. Somehow you're supposed to do well. It's bananas. I don't throw you in the ring until you're ready to fight. If you don't know how to fight, what am I going to do? Watch you just get destroyed and call it help? It's a terrible idea. That's just the basic program that we have. I'm going into my advanced group is tonight, and this is where I get into like, let's take it to the DNA. This thing where does your worth come from? I've got like 50 of these. I take experts who are like, they're like, I'm really good at what I do, and then I'll give them a question. They answer like, dude, I've been on this for 2 weeks, and I'm stumped. What do you got? Basic words. What is respect? Everybody wants respect. What is it? How do I do it? Don't answer that one, by the way, because you'll be up all night with his worth, 1 plus this. These are very difficult questions.
Okay. So I think I'm going to tell Amanda and then see what we can work off from there. Because she's always open to growing her referral network.
Sure.
Yeah. So I think you might be a good fit. I just need to know, do you have an email list? That's like the only fun thing I need to know. How big is your email list?
I think right now it's only like 3,000 or something like that.
Okay.
Like we do, most of our stuff is all just social media, but we just started gathering emails because I got like 300,000 followers on TikTok.
Okay. Perfect. So
which is pretty good for this field.
Yeah.
Not a lot of coaches are sitting there.
I'll let Amanda know, and then I think I either can DM me and work something out, or I'll put you guys in contact so you can schedule something else. How you guys can work something.
Sounds good. And if you find a demon or you find a dragon or something, let me know.
I got you.
Yeah, I got you. We'll kill something together. It'll be fun.
All right, Rick. It was lovely talking to you.
It's good talking to you too, Coach. I'll see you later, okay?
Bye. See you.
Click on the button and you can become the hero in your own story. It's time to start making the choices to change. And the evolution that you're going to do begins with choosing the next step. This is the way. And together, we're always stronger.